don't have a yard. Yeah, she's getting better too.
Normally I think that was early. It was like, oh, great, fun.
I know, well, we're doing Lagunatics at night, so it's it's a little hard. How are you? We should have just had them play for the opening. Well, why didn't they just keep playing? I don't need to be here now. One foot in front of the other.
Testing one. Okay. Testing one, two, three. Despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. One foot in front of the other, and the. I like this foot. One foot in front of the other, and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other, and lead with love. I know you're scared. And I'm scared too.
there, don't you despair. Look up ahead.
Look up ahead.
The path.
I like that. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. With love, put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other.
Lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other. And lead with love. Yeah?
Can we do Let There Be Peace on Earth?
Sure. I gotta remember. Let there be peace on earth. I don't have the music. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow to take.
Oh, that's beautiful. I am really excited to see you and to say, I'm back, y'all. Now you got to make me a promise. Before we leave today, we got to take a picture by my banner, all right? Can we do that? We got to take a picture so I can see all your smiling faces this week when I come back to the office. So take a picture with me this week. Today, then I'll have it for the rest of the week. Hi, Sue Cross. Good to see you, love. I am thankful. I am thankful. I am thankful. I'm thankful that y'all kept this place going without me. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. No, really, give yourselves a hand. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Which means now I will be leaving. Have a great day. Take care. No, I kid. No, this is so amazing, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me that you stuck together, you looked after each other, you took care of one another, and then you joined me here today for another celebration here at NCC. I am thankful, thankful, thankful. And I promise you, this will not be the last time I say thanks, so get used to it. I can assure you of that. But for now, I do want to take the opportunity just to make a few announcements. But before I do, there's a beautiful prayer that I want to speak the words to with you. Some of y'all know the meta prayer. And you know that in a world like this, with all the trouble and the pain that we are experiencing, it's good to be in this place again for this moment at this time. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. Which is why, before we do anything else this morning, before the celebration, before the jazz, before Professor Dennin, before the food, before all the good things that we have in store today, let's just take a moment to read the words to the meta prayer together. Let's read this. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true persons. May we be healed and be a source of healing for all beings. One more time. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true persons. May we be healed and be a source of healing for all beings. That's you and that's me, and that's what the world needs more than ever. Do you believe it? Yeah. Do you believe it? Yeah. Which is why we continue forward as one loving family, always moving forward, always full of hope in our hearts. I'm thankful for that, and I'm glad that we get to celebrate that today. Now, before we move forward, I just want to make a couple of announcements. Cyrus, let's go back. Yeah, October 26th. I want you to put this on your calendar because that's the day that we have a very important meeting here at NCC for our members. October 26th, 9:45 a.m. I want you to join me here for a very important meeting about our Laguna campus and the next steps that we are proposing for the campus. Do not miss this meeting if you are a member of NCC. Please be here because we need a quorum for the business that we're going to undertake that morning. It's October 26th, 9:45. Now we're setting aside enough time for talk and presentation and vote and all those other amazing things. So please meet me here October 26th, 9:45 a.m. NCC members for a very, 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 very important meeting about our next steps. Speaking of October 26th, next slide, Cyrus. Let's wear some costumes. I love Halloween. Y'all know how much I love Halloween, and you know it's one of my favorite celebrations of the year. So I hope that I will not be the only person wearing a costume. Paulie, I'm looking at you on October 26th. Please, 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 please wear your costumes for October 26th because I'll be doing the same, and I hope I'm not alone. Somebody say, "You're not alone, Pastor." Oh, wait. You're not alone, Pastor. I'm looking forward to seeing some costumes on October 26th. And then my next announcement, over the coming couple of weeks, we'll be putting out a calendar for the rest of the year. The holidays are coming up. So by November 1st, I'll be putting in your hands our calendar for the rest of this calendar year. We have some very, very exciting experiences coming up, and I don't want you to miss it. So between now and November 1st, I'll finish the calendar, I'll get it printed, and I'll put it in your hand before the beginning of November. It's one of my to-dos for you to do over the next 2 weeks. I have a copy for you before the 1st of November. But I'm excited about the holidays because it's going to be really, really, really amazing between our Christmas Eve and our winter solstice celebration and so much more. It's going to be an amazing time, and I don't want you to miss it. Those calendars are on the way. Next slide. This morning, we are graced to have the presence of a friend of NCC. Now, the last time he was here, he came to us before the pandemic, and it was a different world at the time. We were living in different circumstances. One could say that we were taking more things for granted during those days than we are now. He was with us. He spoke with us. He took our questions, and he brought his energy and light to our service during that time before the pandemic. And he's been busy ever since. He's got a whole lot happening in his world. He is a professor. He is a teacher. He's a provost. He's a dean. He loves science. He loves spirituality. He's been featured on many podcasts and TV shows like Ancient Aliens and much more just like that. He's curious about the mystery of things. He's curious about the things that we don't yet know. And I've always loved his energy, and I've loved his curiosity. And I couldn't wait to have him back on my first Sunday back, because I didn't want to preach for 40 minutes. No, I kid. I never go 40 minutes. Y'all know that. But I'm thankful because he is here today just for a little bit to share his heart and where it is today. And I'm going to say a little bit later more about what I've done this past summer. But first, before we get to my stuff, I just want to take an opportunity for us to learn and grow and be together just for a few moments with Professor Michael Dennin. Let's give him a hand and welcome him back to NCC. One more time. So he comes to us from UC Irvine, and as I said, he wears a lot of hats at the school, but today he is simply friend of NCC.
Perfect.
And we're so glad you're back.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back here. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. When I start talking about these things, I do say a few things at the beginning, just so you know who I am and where I'm coming from. First, as was mentioned, I'm a professor. I am a physicist by profession and by inclination. I have my PhD in physics. I've been at UC Irvine for 28 years. I do study foams and bubbles, is one of the main things I study, and patterns. When I'm trying to sound fancy, I'm a soft condensed matter experimentalist who studies non-equilibrium and non-linear behavior. So that just is so I can confuse people. But I literally study shaving cream. So, and then the other thing I always start with on the faith side, my starting point is always that I know God exists, I know God loves me, and I know God wants to have a relationship with me. And you might say, well, how do you know that? And I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I know it through my own experiences and the experiences of the entire faith community, both present and past, that I'm part of. And so the final piece I'll say before I ask you all a question is just for my background. My dad is of Irish Catholic descent, and my mom is Ukrainian Jewish descent. They were married in the 60s, and that almost didn't happen because she was Jewish and he was Catholic. And we were raised Catholic. That was part of the agreement. I consider myself Catholic for the most part. And I did go to Jesuit high schools. And my wife has a master's in theology, taught at Mater Dei for many years, and now works for the Sisters of St. Joseph. So we're kind of a interesting family from that respect. 3 daughters, all of them out of college, yes! I survived, I'm done, we declared ourselves successful, the rest of life is up to them. So with that, I have 2 questions for you that you're gonna have to talk to your neighbor about. And you seem like a friendly group, so I think you'll talk to your neighbor. Not all groups do that. So the first question is your science question for the day. If you had to describe the atom to someone, an atom, any atom, your favorite atom, what are the parts of the atom? How would you describe it? What's an atom? A-T-O-M. If you're not sure, that's fine. That's a perfectly valid answer. The second question is, how would you describe God to someone? Like, if you had to describe God, how would you describe God? So they seem totally unrelated questions, but that's the whole beauty of being the person in charge. I get to confuse you. Okay, so talk for a little bit. How would you describe an atom? How would you describe God? We can do it. Yeah, just do it with your neighbor out loud for a little bit, and then we'll come together. Okay, let's come back together. Does anyone want to share their description of an atom? Look, it's not scary. All descriptions are, okay. How would you describe an atom to someone?
I would describe an atom as the smallest building block of matter.
Perfect.
That retains characteristic of the element of whatever it constitutes.
Excellent, excellent. And if you had to describe what it looked like, oh, I like that. That's good. What do you, I love the hand motion. It's perfect. Now, what's moving? What are your hands representing? Okay, so you got a nucleus in the middle, right? And what's this moving around it? The electrons, and they're all kind of moving around? Yeah. And would you think of them as like in orbits, maybe? Orbits going around? Sometimes they're shared orbitals. Yeah, okay. You guys are very advanced. Okay. How do we describe God, maybe? Oh, describing God the same way. I like that. Infinite source. Okay, so God's the source of everything. I like that. Okay. Okay, lots of energy in different forms. Excellent. Anything else? Love. Okay, God is love because that's a fundamental characteristic of God. Oh, there and then here. Yeah? Yeah. People can, definitely there can be sort of negative images. Yes. So, creator of all that is and nothing is left out. From love. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to, creator of all that is, nothing is left out from love. So here's some things I want to just point out about this briefly to reflect on. And this comes from a context, and I'll give you the background, right? A lot of what got me into talking about science and religion, science and faith, is that if you think about sort of the public debate, what is the big question that gets debated? It's, does God exist or not? Okay, that's a question that gets asked a lot. If you I don't expect anyone to. If you were to remember my talk from many years ago, yeah, I think that's the wrong question in a fundamental, deep way. And one of the things I love about science is about learning how to ask better questions. And why is that such a challenging and wrong question? It focuses in on, it sort of forces a finite, specific definition of God. And so what do I mean by that? Okay, the atom. Does the atom exist? Okay. Does it exist, or does its existence depend on us describing it correctly? No. Okay. And most of the time, you guys were way too advanced. You blew my whole plan here. But most of the time, and if you're honest with yourself, without thinking, if you hear the word atom, you're going to picture that nuclear warning sign of a nucleus with electrons around it. We're finite beings. We use finite language. We need a finite picture. We know now in physics that is wrong. It's the Bohr model of the atom. It doesn't work. It doesn't explain everything we measure. It explains about 90% of what we know about an atom, and we teach it all the time to our students. We use it all the time as scientists. It's the easiest thing to wrap our head around. I can tell you that it's really quantum wave functions and it's fuzzy and it's probability to show. I can't picture it in my head. Some people think they can, and they probably can, I don't know. But so we can't deal from an imagery and a descriptive point of view with accurately describing what we know about the atom. We can do it with our mathematics. We can predict things about the atom accurately. We can get at the properties of the atom. But no one sits around going, you know what? I don't think the atom exists because we all described it wrong. Right? No one comes up to a scientist and asks them, you know, do you believe in the atom? And they go, yes. And you go, well, describe it. And they describe it and go, well, that can't possibly be because it doesn't work with the following fact of electromagnetic radiation, that if electrons going around in the orbit, it must radiate energy, therefore it'll decay and it'll collapse and hit the proton. So the atom can't exist the way you described it, so the atom doesn't exist. This does not happen, okay? But when we debate God, we, believers and people who are non-believers, tend to force God into a box. And here's my thing. If we pick one aspect of God to debate, you're going to be in trouble when you debate. And that's why faith is not about a debate of does God exist. Faith is about a journey of getting to know and understand God better. And that's why I always start with, I know God exists, I know God loves me, and I know God wants to have a relationship with me. It's the third one we're exploring. And at the end of the day, whoever, whatever God is, whatever the properties of God are, it seems obvious to me God can be nothing less than all of reality, whatever that is. And by definition, nothing more. Because the phrase, all of reality, literally is all of reality. We were talking, and as Pastor Ross said, it's everything tangible and intangible, right? And so here's the thing. I firmly believe God is the creator of the physical universe. But even that is a dangerous, a difficult image if you're trying to get sucked into debating God's existence or not, because it immediately puts God completely separate, right? When we think of a creator, we think of the creator created the thing, right? Even that image starts getting finite and challenges us, right? So I think I talked about last time, I've come up, like my image of creation is the child in the mother's womb. Because if you think of the creation of the child, the mother, okay, I'm ignoring the father here. I know it's not good biology, so let me have my metaphor. Right? The mother's the creator of the child in a very, very real sense, yet the child is very much part of the mother, but at the same time separate, right? We have the sense that's sin. There is a separation that we experience from God at times, and that's the mystery, and it's the duality we have to live with. And so how do you explore mystery? You explore it through experience. And you explore it through collective experience. And that also aligns with science, because at its heart, the reason science is so good at understanding the physical world is we've figured out that for the physical world, for the most part, it's a miracle that it follows repeatable, understandable rules. And because the rules are repeatable and understandable, you can repeat your experience multiple times and get the same result. That's called an experiment. So experimental science is nothing more than the specific type of experience that is designed to learning about the physical world. And I would argue that professional mystics are the experimentalists, the professional experimentalists of the faith world. They are the people who have really delved into having experience of the full mystery in a way that's very deep. And then, so this is my last kind of thing. This is my latest thing I've been thinking about. And watch for, eventually, hopefully by January, I'll be releasing my first online course on science and religion. That's my ad for today. But one of the things I realized is kind of like you have professional experimentalists in science, that's me. You have professional experiencers in mystery, that's mystics over here. Then you have theoretical scientists, theoretical physicists. They try to explain the experiments I do. That would be theologians and philosophers over here, right? They try and explain the experiences. And then, this gets a little dicey, but I'm going to stand by this. Then you have engineers. They try to make science useful for the rest of us who don't have time to be, right, experimentalists and theorists. So like no engineer builds a bridge exactly to the physics rules of when it would fall apart. They build in a safety measure because they don't know what the heck we're going to do with that bridge, right? And I would argue religion, organized religion, pastors and other people, are the engineers of the faith world. They're helping us understand and make this practical for our lives. It's not practical for us all to be mystics. It's not practical for us all to be theologians, but it is practical for us to engage with the mystery that is. So that's kind of where my thoughts are leaning now. Gives you a little intro of what I'm thinking about. And now I think we're going to
Let's have a hand for the professor.
go to a conversation.
Yeah, I love that, and I'm grateful because we got a few minutes to kind of talk about this a little bit. Could you go a little deeper? As you were talking, the question that came to my mind is, so what about this idea of multiple universes? I know this has come up for you many times whenever you make this kind of lecture from a student. How do you respond to the question? This idea of multiple universes.
So first of all, from a physics perspective, it's, I don't know, I'd put it at like 70% likely, right? It's one of those things we've realized in at least two different ways there may or may not be more than one universe. So I'll give the easier one first. So we live in a physical world with space and time. Space and time in physics is a thing. It's described by general relativity. We kind of understand that it's part of physical reality. It has to come from somewhere. When we say the universe is created, what's being created, the first thing being created is space and time. And when you think about the challenge, so here's where physics leaves being a science and goes immediately into religion, theology, and philosophy, because we can't measure before the universe was created. It's just not something we can actually look at with any instrument. But the theories we have that best describe the way the world works have sort of suggestions of how maybe the world came to be. And one possibility is, it's called the quantum foam. And my image for this is a bunch of kids out in a field trying to blow up balloons. Okay, how many people have tried to blow up a balloon before? Oh, good, we got most of you. It's really hard at first, right? And then once you reach a certain point, the balloon just blows up. I hope you've all had that, because otherwise my analogy doesn't help here, right? The spontaneous creation of space and time from what we call the quantum vacuum is like that. It's what we call a nucleation event. It has to get so big before it gets bigger. So imagine lots of balloons going, a little bit falling, a little bit failing, right? Our universe is a balloon that succeeded. You can imagine there's many other universes that succeeded. And who knows, it may be that all of them have to have the same laws of physics, and so there's likely life in there like ours. It could be possible that some of them have slightly different laws of physics and could be different. So that's one sense in which there's multiple universes. And, you know, for me, that has no impact on my relationship or belief in God as everything. That's just more of God. The other way is really weirder, and this is in quantum mechanics. When we just don't really understand it well enough. Right now, there's the idea of a measurement. Before you make a measurement, the status of a system is kind of unknown. So you might have an electron that's on this side of the room or it's on this side of the room. And until you measure it, you don't know. And when you measure it, it's either there or there. It's really hard to figure out what to do with that from a well, what does that mean for a reality point of view? So there is a theory that it's called the multiverse, the quantum multiverse, et cetera, et cetera. Every time you make a measurement, both outcomes happen. And the world splits into two worlds, right? And so there's one where the electron's here, and so there's like every version of every decision you ever made is out there. I really hope that's not true. Because there's some really bad decisions I could have made. It's not even clear what that would mean, but that is something many physicists rightfully take very seriously because the theory says that could happen. And then you ask the question, well, is there any way, is there any measurement I could do that can tell the difference between that happening or not happening?
But the fact that you don't ascribe to this idea of absolute certainty, it keeps the curious questions going for you perpetually.
Oh, yeah, always, yeah.
I just want to ask this question and then we'll transition forward. You being a faith man and a teacher, what does your experience of ultimate reality mean for you as a man, you know, as a leader, as a thinker? What does it give you? What does it provide for you in your everyday life?
You know, I am way more optimistic than I probably should be. And I think, you know, someone once asked me, Mike, why are you always so happy? This was back in college. And I said, because of God. It was the first thing that came to my mind. And, you know, things are really challenging now. I had a 3-month sabbatical, which most people didn't notice because the university isn't as active in the summer. So people are like, you take sabbatical in the summer? What's that? But when I came back, I think one of the messages from my staff that I realized is the things we're dealing with right now, particularly in this country, are incredibly serious. You don't want to ignore that. But the way I phrased it, but it's no excuse to panic. And I think that's what my experience and faith in God gives me is I take very seriously the opening statement always, be not afraid. And I take my favorite holiday is actually Christmas, really close Halloween. That's my kid's favorite holiday. I will be a spider wizard on the front door. She plays a pumpkin scarecrow and pretends to be like fake and then scares people. So far, we've had no deaths, so that's a good thing. I am trying to figure out how to rig the ability to control a spider to drop on the kids when they go to get the candy. Because I am the spider wizard.
Oh, I love that.
So we have to bring that down.
I love it.
Right.
Oh, wow.
But for me, it's really interesting because as a family, Christmas and Halloween are our big celebrations. And we don't really do a whole lot family-wise at Easter. But Easter has always been sort of central in my life. And there is always an Easter after the crucifixion. You know, as a Catholic, the crucifixion is very real because you go to Mass and there's Christ on the cross. Like, that's just there. But Easter is also very real, too. Like, that's the reason that's there. And so that's really, you know, so whether it comes to teaching, working with the students, being a leader of the staff that I lead, it comes from this place of it will be okay even if it's painful and it takes a while to get there. And we have to be in the pain together, but God is with us in the pain, and there is a path forward. So,
Michael Dennin, y'all. Michael Dennin. So, my last question is looking forward to where you're going next. If you don't mind me bringing this up. You're on your way to
Greece. Yeah.
He's on his way to Greece. And what about that experience are you looking forward to the most, and why?
So, just a little context. My wife, I do have to tell, I'm sorry, I have to tell a short, funny story. My wife found this couple that does retreats in Ireland. And she was like, I've heard really good things. We should go. And we looked at it. And the one she really wanted to do was full. So there was another one that looked interesting. So we both applied. And they're very clear on their website, right? No refunds. Like, you just send it, right, for the application stuff and everything. We got a very nice email back. Our apologies. Our marketing material was not accurate and up to date yet. This is a women's only retreat. If your husband would like, we will send a refund. You know, we make an exception to that. So she went. I didn't go. But she loved it. She made some good friends. And somebody reached out to her from that. Their parish was organizing a 10-day tour / part of it's a little cruise following the steps of St. Paul through Greece. And so we're going to be doing that. And the woman running it is a Lutheran bishop, and so there'll be reflections at the sites, there'll be history, and there'll be free time and such. And my whole life, I have just loved the idea of Athens and Greece, the Greek mythology, the Greek history, everything. So I have been wanting to go there forever, and I've never made it. And then to couple that with sort of thinking about and following and learning about the journey of St. Paul at the same time was just an opportunity we couldn't miss. So we're really excited for it.
I'm excited for you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you get to go right away.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, right?
Yep, it's tomorrow. Our flight's tomorrow. And I'm like looking at the TSA lines going, I guess we'll get to LAX at 9 in the morning for a 1 o'clock flight. I don't know.
Oh, wow, wow. Professor Michael Dennin, y'all. Isn't he great? Okay. Thank you. I'm so glad he could come be with us. One more hand for the professor, y'all. One more hand. And he's such a fan of what we're doing here. Our spiritual center, our housing project, all the good stuff that we've got happening here in Laguna Beach. He is super excited and can't wait to see it come alive for us over the coming year. So thank you for your support so very much. I'm thankful because now I have an opportunity to be in thoughtfulness with you. I want to just take a moment and just share with you a little bit of my own experience. But before I do, I'm curious. While I was away over the summer, I was having some fun. I was doing some things, and I want to hear what are some of the fun things you did. what happened? What'd you do? What'd you do that you enjoyed over your summer? I want to hear some of that, right? So if it's all right, I just want to hear some calls out. Someone just tell me, what'd you do for fun over the summer? Give me some stuff. What'd you do? What'd you do? Sawdust? Yeah. And what was great about it? Tell me.
I was working there, but I had some amazing community of artists and great music, great food, great people.
Yes, we love Sawdust. What else? Yeah, what else? You went on the retreat. You liked it? Awesome. Did you stay overnight? That's all right. That's okay. But you had fun. Awesome. What else? Yeah, George. Undergrounding. Say more. Underground. Yeah, in your neighborhood. Wow. And how's it going? What's the status? It's going along. Yeah.
Quite a while, but everything's looking very positive. This is the third go around, but people are getting more together.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, good job. Undergrounding, so important. So important. Yeah. What else? Phil.
We checked out other churches,
Is that right?
and we found
And you found?
it's hard to match what we have here.
Wow. I'm speechless. Thank you. And that's because I'm a Broncos fan, right?
I saw you win the other night.
I'm grateful. Thank you. What else? Paulie. A visit from a lifelong friend. And are they still friends? All right. I'm glad. What else? Yes, I got you. 1 second. Kim? You saw Bruno Mars in Las Vegas? Oh, wow. Yes, that's amazing. What was it, a residency or a concert or? Okay, so it wasn't just lunch. It wasn't just you and lunch, and it was an actual show. Oh, okay, it was a show. Great. Maya, you saw Bruno Mars, right? Yeah, good show. Yeah. Patricia.
I actually enjoyed
The quiet time.
the beauty of my own garden,
Yes.
music in the park,
Yeah.
all the richness of the culture that's here. I just revel.
Yes, the beauty of the great place in which we live, Laguna Beach. We take it for granted, don't we? Good answer. No. But for those of us who might take it for granted sometimes, it's good to be reminded of how beautifully blessed we are. Roxanna. I got you, Maya. 1 second. Roxanna.
5 weeks ago, I was rescued by a dog.
You were rescued by a dog?
Yes.
Oh.
They say we rescued the dog, but really they rescue us.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
This was a dog they found on the hillside in Los Angeles with a hurt paw.
Okay.
Dakota.
Yeah.
And he's sweet. I'm real happy.
Absolutely. Wow. Gratitude for Dakota? Dakota. Okay. I look forward to meeting Dakota. All right. Rescued by Dakota. Excellent. I like that. Patricia, did you have another one or no? No? Okay, Maya? I thought you had one more. Sorry, Maya. You went to Laguna Tix. Oh, I don't believe you. I do not believe you.
Affordable housing is a character in the show, and they did quite a clever job, I think, of integrating some of the things going on.
I love it. And Roxanna, when does the show conclude? How much more time do we have? October 19th.
That's my spokesperson, George. Always
Okay, that's your spokesperson? Okay, I like that. Okay, October 19th. All right. What else? Peter. The Vince DeMura concert. Who else went? Who else? Yeah? Great experience? Awesome. I got time for a couple more. Yeah.
You'll be happy to hear I moved to a better place. Still
You moved to a better place? Hallelujah. I'm so happy for you, truly. Yeah. And you're here in town? Congratulations. That's awesome. George, you had one more?
I did.
Okay.
Not feeling guilty when you didn't have to go to church.
Good, good. Yes. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Having time to, not feeling guilty when you don't have to go to church. Like, that's real. That's real. I wanted you to really have time to rest and celebrate and not feel the guilt of not being at church. I'm glad you got it. You got it. Good job. Yeah, yeah.
Can I just, because of George,
Yeah.
I love that too,
Yeah.
but I also realized there was something missing when I did it.
But there's a beauty. But there's a beauty of that, right? Because you get to have that moment to yourself, at least for me. You can have that moment to yourself, and then you start to miss, and you start to remember, and then the savoring and the beauty of enjoyment together, it comes rushing back. I like that a lot. It's a beautiful feeling to have, to miss something. What you got?
I really enjoyed writing the meditations for the Saturday.
Did you?
Yes, I did, and bringing out the spiritual aspect to our.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Thank you. And you did a great job too, by the way. Yeah, great job. Great job. Okay, so let me take a few moments because you said some beautiful things, and I'm so grateful for all of it. I can't let you go without sharing a little bit of my own. So, Cyrus, let's show the next slide. Oh, keep going. All right. So, I went to some incredible places, and I'll have plenty of time to get into more of this later on with you. But just to give you a taste, this is Miami Beach, Florida, where I had the opportunity to just be on the sand and not have to worry about anything, to let the beauty and color of the day bless my life and remind me of just how grateful I am to be alive. To be alive. And to be grateful for this community and my family and my friends, my very journey as a man, to sit on the sand and just be grateful. This was a beautiful summer day, and you can see there weren't that many people there that day, which allowed me the chance just to sit by the water in silence, just to breathe and to be, to miss you, to miss the work that we do together, to reminisce about the times we've shared over the past 8+ years, and then to be excited about what is coming. Our housing initiative, our spiritual center, our focus on equity and economic prosperity and the life of a spiritual journey person, the great life that we're building here on this campus. I got to sit and be thankful for each and every aspect of that. I got to be thankful for the donors and the singers and the writers and the sound people. I'm looking at you, Cyrus, right? The food preparers, right? The office staff, the leadership team, all the parts that make this thing happen. I got to be thankful for that. Even the times when we weren't in complete understanding of what comes next, when there was more confusion than understanding. We got through all of that. We figured it out. And look around, y'all. We're sitting here right now in Bridge Hall. I'm thankful for that. Sitting on the sand deepened my gratitude. Next. So, I'm a better swimmer now. I wouldn't say I'm perfect, because that was the lesson I got when I first started. My instructor said, I need you to know that what you're doing is you're not learning how to swim this week or next week. She said, what you're learning to do is you're learning to appreciate the beauty of practice. She said, I'm not teaching you how to do something. I'm teaching you how to be something. And of course, I asked her, wait, are you a pastor? She said, no, I'm not a pastor, but I've been teaching folks this swimming thing for so long. And she said, all y'all come here with this overachieving attitude. You come here with the idea of being successful and making something happen rather than just letting something happen. She said, if I do nothing else for you over the course of these 2 weeks, I am going to help you, next slide, Cyrus, heal the wound of overachieving. She said, if that's all I do, then we did good together. She said, I'm going to introduce you to Rick, and he's going to take care of you. You saw Rick in the water. I'm going to introduce you to Rick, and you're going to meet Jonathan, and they're going to go with you, and they're going to teach you this and teach you that. But just know that what I'm doing for you is I'm offering you the gift of openness to practice. So I got in the water. I freaked out, y'all. I was scared to death. My confidence was so low. I didn't know that I could even begin to learn how to do this thing. Because in my mind, I was thinking about getting it right, doing it right, being successful, not messing up, not falling short. And it was Rick who said, look, he said, I watched you move around. I watched you go around the water. He said, slow down. He said, relax. He said, I'm not training you to compete in the Olympics. Why are you moving so fast? Slow down. But all I could hear in my mind was, you got to get it done right. You got to do it this way. There's only one way to do it. That's all I could keep hearing. That type A, overachieving tendency that I carry as a man, as a human being. That's all I could hear until Rick just kept saying over and over and over again, relax, man. Slow down. You know, it turns out swimming is quite paradoxical. Because on the one hand, you're taxed with moving through the water with kind of a quick, rhythmic fashion. While on the other hand, you have to have this kind of balance, right, Mike? Where you have to have this muscular balance between laxity and tension. It's an incredible paradox, because if you're doing both at the same time, you're not gassing yourself out, and you're also ready for the long haul at the same time. The balance that he was teaching me to embody, he called it an easy speed. Roxanna, he called it easy speed. He said, easy speed is where you're doing just enough, but not too much. You're taking just the right step with what you've got in front of you, but you're not striving and you're not looking to control. He said, easy speed is where I want you to be. So he took my arms and he stretched them out wide. He put them in the rhythmic fashion. He showed me a few moves. He offered a few techniques. And then he set me free to try it out for myself. And I came back, lesson 1 and lesson 2 and lesson 3 and lesson 4, to the point that even though I didn't perfect it with Rick, my confidence deepened. My willingness to try something new expanded. Not that I perfected it, but that I embraced the opportunity that it offered me. I'm thinking about that self-acceptance ideal by Pema Chodron. Simply says, allow, 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 allow. He told me to expand my hands like a Japanese spider, because by doing that, the water is more freely able to move through you, to do its thing as you do your thing. In other words, I'm not doing it on my own. I've got help all around me. So, getting over the wound of overachieving, I'm still doing that. But I got swimming now to help. It's healing. It's life-giving. It's self-forgiving. And it's fun as heck. It's so much fun. So I went over to Europe. I got into the sea. I was floating on the water and felt so alive, as if I had been transported to a whole new place. There was not a care in the world. And the very hurt that I had been carrying, I could give it up to the universe and know that all is well. There are so many more lessons, but today I offer for you that I am seeking to be more and less and more and less and more and less. The balance I'm seeking to achieve, that balance I'm seeking to embrace, that balance I'm seeking to embody, not because of a grade, not because of a litmus test, but because it's good for my health. It's good for our health. It's good for our happiness. It's good for our joyfulness. It's good for our heart. It's good for the energy. It helps you sleep better. It helps you love more. Last slide, Cyrus. And so I think it's important that as I think with you about this idea of letting something happen, not making something happen, there's the idea of resistance. Does anyone ever encounter resistance in your life? Anyone? No one? Just me? Just me? Yeah? I'm the only one, Mike. I'm the only one. And it's interesting how when I come back from Europe, when I come back from Florida, when I come back from these incredible experiences, I'm met with stress. I'm met with to-do lists. I'm met with things to do, family calling, friends calling, my lovely NCC needing things to get done. All the stuff that happens when you come back to daily life. Yeah. And so now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get to a place where I'm trying to stay loose. Somebody say loose. You know, I'm trying to develop this practice, Cyrus, that when I come to work in the morning, before I do anything, before I get busy, I take about 30 minutes and I just sit in my office and I breathe. I've been doing that now for the past 2 weeks since I got back, and it has blessed me so much. I just come to my office, Kathleen, I just sit at my desk and I don't do anything. I just sit and breathe for 30 minutes. And sometimes I'll do some music with it. Sometimes I'll be in silence. Sometimes I'll call a friend. But I don't get into the monkey mind of work for 30 minutes, Kathleen. I just breathe. I just breathe. I just breathe. Yeah. I'm not an expert at this breathing thing, Mike, but I'm practicing. I'm practicing. It's helped me so much. It's disarmed my need to know it all. It's disarmed my need to have it all figured out ahead of time. It's disarmed my need to have the answers to all the questions even before they get asked. It's disarmed my need to always be in charge or to have control. It's teaching me to stay loose in the face of resistance. And oftentimes I find that I'm the one doing the resisting. Trying to make something happen rather than letting it happen. So now, in the midst of all those habitual things that I used to do, I say to each and every one of them, my new speed, I want it to be easy speed. May it be so. All right. So now that we're on easy speed, let's eat. Now, before we eat, I would like to, Roxanna, come on. Before we eat, I want to sing that one foot in front of the other with you one more time. That's our grace. That's our prayer for the food. We're going to sing that and move directly into our food, our lunch for the morning, okay, for the afternoon. And before we sing it, I would like to offer a little bit of an appreciation. You're going to notice during the lunch that we have an incredible musical guest with us. John Cross and his jazz friends, they are with us today to play and celebrate with us while we eat. Let's give him a hand, y'all. Let's give him a hand. Sue?
John's not part of the band. He just got him here.
Oh, John got him here. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand. And I'm thankful also because I get to eat some incredible food with you. So before you go today, let's make sure we all say hi to one another and greet each other before we leave. All right? And Patricia just reminded me, everyone, before we do anything, thank you, Patricia. Can you all come up here? We're going to sing. Come up here. Come on up. Come on up.
You can sing as you do it.
Yeah, come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up.
In front of the other.
Come on up. And lead with love. Put